Hello, everybody. I'm Jason Schroeder, the CEO and founder of the Scottish Men's Sheds Association. Thank you for taking the time to look at our campaign that we're doing. This is the first time that we've done it, and sadly, reason is that we actually have to do it. And so I just want to quickly speak to you a bit about what's going on across Scotland and men's health. So back in 2009, I'm a single dad, and I'm looking for men to help me, elders help me be a better father. And I found this really difficult to find guys. And when I heard about the men's shed movement in Australia and in New Zealand, I thought, I wonder if it would work in Scotland. And so that started me on the journey, really, of finding out about men's health, what goes on with us when we're not employed for whatever reason, whether that's underemployed, unemployed, we've had an accident, life has changed. If we're in shift work, working on the rigs, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, etc., things like that, or we're retired. What actually happens in the world of men? And unfortunately, for many of us, it doesn't look that good. And so the story of the Scottish Men's Shed Association started. And so today, a few years on, let's say, we're in a situation now, after the pandemic, that for an unknown reason, which has not been told, the initial funding that we got from the Scottish government, which we're very grateful for, which actually got the movement off the ground from the initial start in 2014, has led us to where we are today. We have also had other funders because that funding, initial seed funding we got from Scottish government wasn't enough as the foundation and the movement obviously grew. However, after the parliamentary debate in June 16th, this year, where many politicians who were in that debate in the Scottish Parliament are very for men's sheds and actually even had an extended half an hour because so many were for it, we received the very sad news that after a meeting of 3 Scottish ministers our core funding and the possible development funding for men's sheds, which is now required to keep the movement not only growing, but actually sustainable, as a central hub, which is what the Scottish Men's Shed Association is, where originally we started out with the campaign and ideas on how to start a men's shed. Over these years now, since 2016, we are now helping sheds to be sustainable. Imagine thousands and thousands of men, over 10,000 men across Scotland, enjoying meeting in social spaces and places where they are safe, guided by compassion and kindness and camaraderie, and not driven by competition, where men can actually relax in their own company, help their communities, have a purpose again in their lives. Why on earth would anybody not want to support such a wonderful thing in the world? And I can tell you it's so wonderful that actually it's in 11 countries across the world now. And it's possibly the biggest global men's health idea to hit the planet in 20,000 years. And I'm very proud to say that in Scotland, all the work that I've done over these years, driving it as a grassroots movement up and empowering the men for the sheds to be for the men, by the men, has now been taken on by the Americans and the Canadians as they start their men's sheds associations across the world. So why in June, our Scottish government decided that they not only wanted to support our funding development plan. There's been a 4-year research on men's sheds sustainability by the Glasgow Caledonia University at a cost of £150,000. This research we back up with in all our development plans, supported by that. So it's not from some other country. It's based in Scotland for Scotland. And we only focus on Scotland. 100%. So why would these ministers, when Parliament are very for men's sheds, actually decide to stop all the funding to the very hub and the association that started it all, supports it all, and leaves these volunteers out there in the cold to try and get on and redevelop the wheel, so to speak? It makes absolutely no sense. And so we've pretty much got 8 weeks to look at the 23-24 budget. The ministers are meeting now to discuss this. I would ask for your support to sign this 38 Degrees petition, which will go to the First Minister and the Deputy First Minister directly. And let's hear your voice. Does the Scottish population want their fathers, sons, grandfathers, uncles to have a healthy lifestyle, have an option to meet in a healthy way, to help their communities, give them purpose, wake up in the morning, go someplace that's really good for them and good for their families, good for their marriages, good for their health? I think it is. And I've been doing this for 13 years now. And I think we are just at the beginning of the success of it. And we need the support. And as the minister said, you need to get funding from big business. I'm sorry, in my humble opinion, it's absolutely not big business who should be supporting statutory health responsibilities. It is central government. And we see this in Australia. We see this in Ireland, where their governments are supporting them. And their growth is phenomenal, where hundreds of thousands of people are now benefiting from this. So why would our government at this time, post the pandemic, decide to stop all the support directly through the Scottish Menshed Association and our development plans to help the movement in the years to come, when we are just recovering and the sheds have just opened again? Why would that support be withdrawn? Is men's health not important enough? I'm sorry. Men now have a voice through this movement. And I'm asking you, the public of Scotland, who we work for as our charity, that if you would like to see this continue across Scotland for your sons and for their daughters and their children to benefit from in the years to come, having a healthy dad, having a healthy father, having a healthier grandfather, then I ask you, please sign this petition. We will take it to the government and we will try and get them to make a U-turn on this disastrous decision that makes no sense to us, and it makes probably no sense to any local MSPs as well, who in that parliamentary debate are all for it. So please, look down here and you'll see the 38 Degrees link, and we'll also have it in the subject box. Please support us, support yourselves. It's time the Scottish people have a voice about men's health, and we are important. Men matter. I hope you agree with me, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Maybe continue long into the future. Thanks very much.